Good morning. Um, yeah, that's right. We don't have the cards in hand right now to fight our way towards these two. And we got a mail this morning from Ryan's wife saying, "Hey, why don't you guys speed up a little bit? And why don't you do this or that?" And I I think you from outside you can't see how our boat is still slowed down by this fact that the keel doesn't hold out and don't have a soul in and all this kind of small things. And so it affects our tactics. We go more upwind than we would normally. We would to crack off doesn't pay off that much for us at the moment. It's hard to get the boat faster than 12 knots or 11 knots, even if we bear off a lot. So we have accepted this. We're enjoying ourselves these days now, especially because we do a course straight to the more or less close to the rum line, which is quite nice. Yesterday we were just both sitting in the cockpit in the sun during the day and having a relaxed conversation about what we're gonna eat when we arrive, and we both ordered some things from Nicola, Ryan's wife, that she's gonna bring out on the Zodiac to the finish line. So our fantasy is very active, a bit stimulated by the finish or the finish that soon's gonna happen with Virbach, and we imagine how it's gonna be for ourselves, and we still do trim a lot because with this less stability, we have to trim more. The boat just doesn't create the power to. If there's a puff, we have to ease the traveler straight away, and also we have some pilot problems. So the last 2 days, we did probably some 6 or 7 hours working on the pilots, the mechanic parts of the pilots, but that's sorted out. We have these hydraulic cylinders that moves the tiller to steer the boat, and what we call the autopilot. And the electric motor for that on both rams that we have, they failed, and for different reasons. So we had to take it apart, but it's very difficult to access them in the back of the boat there. So we took the whole hydraulic system out of the boat and got the hydraulic oil out of it and put the motors back together and checked the pumps and put the oil back in and the air out of the system. So it's a big workshop activity, and we were quite happy when it was all done because we could see it. Just we knew what it was, so we're happy the pilot is working again. But and it's even at the end of it, it was quite a welcome distraction for days. A day passes by quickly by this little wrenching project. These pilots are more my babies, so we do it together. But I do a little bit more. I had the same pilots on my 40-footer and took these motors apart a couple of times already. I still have my hands a little bit oily, and inside these motors there's this coal dust from the contacts, and it's very hard to get that off skin again. So my hands look a bit terrible right now still, and we had like also some electronic problems with it, and I'm very happy that we are the two of us. Imagining to do all this alone, that would be so difficult because quite often we were stuck for a while with no pilot at all. So one had to drive, and so yeah, we have a little bit of bad luck with our pilots. Very dominant. So they dominate the race since Cape of Good Hope, since Michel and Francois left the race, unfortunately. They had this amazing match race with Ike and Xabi, which was very great to see, and I imagine their main deal was to keep the boat together while fighting off these two Olympic medalists, and they did it. They had some rough conditions to go through with high boat speeds, and and we know that Iker and Xabi must have pushed the hell out of their boat, which is probably it's a generation, almost a generation older boat, which is maybe a bit more robust. We don't know that, but it's something I imagine. So they did they had quite a challenging time with this super high-tech boat that it looks like. Virbac Paprex 3 looks very light in the harbor, bouncing around there. So to get that around the world is requires a lot of technical skill and sailing skill. They obviously had to stop twice, but for reasons that were not related to the lightness of the hull structure or the boat in general. I think they had some bad luck with their batten cars in New Zealand and with their main track. Yeah, this thing, this project pulled together by Jean-Pierre Dick, creating a state-of-the-art boat, a great team, teaming up with Louis Perron and doing this incredible race. It's a huge campaign that now runs over many years. So my own outlook would rather be to take a existing boat and doing the Vendée Globe. That's my objective now, and it's quite different because it takes away all that aspect of creation of this machine. And apparently Jean-Pierre has a lot of history and background in that already, and they did an amazing job with that team to create this new Imoca that was so dominant and beat over this race. Thank you, Andy. Have a good day. Bye-bye.